Hear me now? Can you hear me on YouTube? Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that. So we are talking about the total solar eclipse that happened today at 10:36 a.m. and that they plant seeds. So whether you felt something within you or not today, the solar eclipse plants seeds. So the seed doesn't perform um, for its own importance. The shape of what is initiated today may not fully cure for several weeks, but something was planted today. We are going over the solar eclipse and what that means for us as a collective. Welcome, welcome in, welcome in. And I am Jill here coming in to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. Let me know where you're coming in from. I'm so glad that you're all here. But before the seed was planted by the solar eclipse, it had to clear something out. It had to, it made you tired. Yeah, I mean, it can do anything, right? Anything, and you might feel anything. And I'm going to go into what happened this morning for me too. So we're going to name what happened. I did wake up this morning and I made sure to open my journal first thing this morning because I think for magic to happen, not only do you need to say it out loud, you need to write it down too. And you have to be very careful with your words and how you say things. We're spelling, right? We're spelling. So I told the universe the things that I want to release, right? Any kind of self worth issues that I've had, any kind of performative issues that I feel like might be going on. I want to release any of that, right? And then I talked about what I want to bring in and how grateful I am for it coming my way and that it's my birthright and divine, right? So that is what I personally did this morning to get ready for the solar eclipse, even though I never got to actually go out and watch it today because I was in the middle of work and I couldn't go take a look. Thank you so much. So anyway, that's one thing that I did, and that's my honest practice that I wanted to share with you because those type of things have worked for me in the past is and like not just a long time ago in the past, like all the time in the past. I speak into existence anything, whether I want it or not. So I'm trying very hard to be intentional with the way that I talk about my own life and wants and needs, because no matter which way, it tends to happen. And especially if I write it down. When I write down whatever it is that I'm trying to go for, my goal, whatever it is, that's all it takes, right? And then I see it happen. It builds, it happens, right? So that is my holy practice. That is my devotion, other than showing up here daily and doing my regular daily post and long form video and everything on YouTube every week, right? So hello, welcome in. Um, so that is my practice for working with the astrology and working with the flow, right? The flow of things. Um, so let's see, what did you do? What did you do today? Did you prepare in any way for the solar eclipse? Did you have something that you wanted to release and have grown through today? Welcome, welcome in. Tell me in the comments, what is your authentic self going to show up for going forward, right? Because that's what the solar eclipse asked of us, was to come forward as your true authentic self not as the performer that we put on for our friends and family or other people, coworkers, whatever it is that we're doing when we're not being our true selves, right? So that's what this solar eclipse was telling us, is that we can't keep pretending. No outcome that we want for our lives will come to us if we are in pretend mode. We have to be who we are right now and accept it and love it and nurture it so that it will grow. And as we talk to ourselves and talk out loud about ourselves in our lives, we're creating our future. So we have to be very careful with our words. So let's continue to do that and talk about how we are our authentic self, what is true about ourselves that we maybe have been hiding from everybody because of some kind of fear of judgment or whatever it is, a fear of people leaving our lives that we just want to hold on to. But one of the things that we can, hello, one of the things that we can glean from Buddhism is about the lessons of impermanence and having a tight grip on something. So when you're holding on to something, your hand is closed, so you cannot receive, right? And we know that there is nothing permanent in this world, everything is impermanent, right? So we have to let the flow happen, the ebbs and flows of life, the comings and the goings, right? There's a polarity to everything, there's a high, there's a low. So we need to allow for that to happen because that's just the natural order and flow of the universe. And if we try and, hello, welcome in, if we're trying to control everything, you're going to feel awful and frustrated a lot, because we can't control what other people do. We can't control world events, right? Welcome in. Hi, Samir. Hello from the other side. Welcome. Hi. I have some kind of filter or something on TikTok, and it's making my face look weird, and I didn't mean to put it on there. And I don't know how to fix it. Oh, maybe it's that. There. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, like I look nice and clear there. It's all fuzzy on this side, and I don't know what I've done. But all right. So with this solar eclipse, I want to know about you all and what have you found that is a part of your authentic self that you want to share with your friends and family. Are you willing to did you have that hard conversation that we were supposed to have last night? Maybe it's this night, right? Like we were supposed to have a conversation that's been eating away at us, maybe possibly last night before the eclipse, because what comes next throughout this week and after the eclipse is dramatic change, whether we want it or not. So, whatever is uncomfortable in our life is going to be very visible right now and moving forward, and you're not going to be able to handle it. Hi, Ahmad. Hi. So, it's going to change whether we want it to change or not. Sorry, this is driving me crazy. I don't know what the deal is. the, the light's just crazy. Anyway, so I want you to think on that because something's coming for all of us that we need to work through, something that's not for us. We need to get the heck out of our lives because we're about to get into a whole new way of life, a whole new flow, right? Everything's changing. The world is changing. You need to get on board, right? Don't get left behind. Don't get left behind. So, let me tell you what this eclipse was actually doing because I think there's a lot of eclipse language that creates expectation without any kind of explanation, right? Expectation without explanation. And tonight I want to give you the real picture. This is what the South Node solar eclipse. So was a South Node solar eclipse, okay? A South Node in astrology is a point of release. That's why we keep talking about it, saying that we needed to release something. So, of completion. We're finishing something up. We're completing a relationship. Something needs to be done, right? So it's asking us, what are we moving beyond? A north node eclipse asks you to step toward something new, but this was a south node eclipse, right? So a south node eclipse says you need to let go of something old. Hello, welcome in. Hi. So specifically, this eclipse at 20 degrees of Leo on the south node was asking you to release an older way of being in Leo energy. And Leo energy is about self expression, creativity, and your identity, and how you want to be seen. The old way, the one being released today, is a version that was built by you for external approval. Okay. The self expression calibrated for what you want other people to see about you. The identity crafted so meticulously to be accepted, right? The creativity performed rather than channeled. We all do this. This is not a secret, right? But it's not healthy and it's not your authentic self. So don't feel any kind of shame or anything about yourself for per- being performative. We all are performative. We all mask, right? That's normal. But what we need to do is identify when we're doing it and break free from those behaviors and become our true self, show who we really are, right? So, in this solar eclipse, after it's released, something new steps forward. But what's stepping forward this time is not something that is new, if we're talking about our authentic self, right? So it was something that was always there. It's the authentic version of you coming through, the creative fire that burns whether anybody approves of it or not, right? Right? So, um, sorry, I'm just reading the comments. Y'all crack me up sometimes. I think you're funny. Um, so, your identity needs no confirmation of being real. And the eclipse didn't add anything to you today. Hi, Robin. Thank you for liking the live. I appreciate you doing that. How do we know which is our true self if we are wearing masks? That's a great question. Thank you for asking that, because you can feel it and it comes up later in like your shadows with things that irritate you, and usually you see the behavior in somebody else, and then it's a matter of recognizing that, oh, that irritating thing that Bob does, I do that too. I need to work on that. And that's kind of like your identifying things, right? So it's a lot of like, I noticed in other people when they're masking, because you can tell when you're talking to somebody if they're being themselves or not, and you can see their behavior. And as you are working on the doing the inner work, recognizing it in somebody else helps you recognize it in yourself. That's my best advice. I'm on my own experience. um, but if anybody else has any suggestions on how to identify when you're masking versus being your authentic self, please put that in the comments. That's what we're here to do. We're all here to share and build community with these ideas so we can all build each other up and be better, right? We're all trying to be better, right? All right. So, and then there is the Leo stellium tonight. This is remarkable. So, hi, welcome. Right now in Leo, we have the sun, the moon, Jupiter, and Mercury. They're all gathered together. This is an extraordinary concentration of Leo fire. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and it's already expanding whatever the seed the eclipse planted this morning for your life, which means the thing that was released today, the true thing that stepped forward, is already being amplified, already getting bigger, already reaching further than you might expect, right? The day's real work, as one astrologer did put it, they put it just beautifully, is it's a mostly underground today, right? You don't have to see the shape of it. The seed doesn't perform on importance. Um, it just has to, you just have to trust that something was planted and it's germinating, right? The seed is germinating. And we have been told that this cycle that we're going through is longer than 6 months. So we may not even see results from this showing our authentic self for like 6 months down the road. Like for me on this channel, this is very new that I've been coming on here regularly. But think about what kind of growth I can have in 6 months of doing this every single day, just in general, without the stars, right? But that's the thing, is we're planting a seed of our authentic self, of things that we want, and our daily work, which we learn about in our Buddhism practice, is what helps bring these things forward. But we're getting the blessing, so it gets amplified. That's the astrology bit of it, is looking for the blessing in it, working with the cosmos, staying in flow, staying in line. Feelings, listen to your feelings, your guts, all those feelings, to know if you're doing the right thing or not. Does it feel irritating and wrong? That's the wrong direction. Go the other way, right? Does this just feel time just is flying by as you're doing this?